My name is Hans Henrik Levy. I'm from Tryg Group, which is the largest Nordic insurer. I'm here to tell the story about our intelligent capture automation, or the Tryg capture story. I'm head of customer document services. My team is the platforms and scaling team. I'm from Denmark, so from the Nordics. And in the Nordics, the digitization leadership is driving the customer expectation towards automation and digital customer service and digital customer journey. So at Tryg, we are very much aware and focused on providing the best digital solutions that we can to our customers. So for these digital customer communication to and from the customer, so outbound and inbound, we have found that it's extremely important to have efficient document and content services. So this is where the document platforms come into play. The red box, magic box in the middle of the picture here is extremely important, we found. So luckily for this area, we've had a continuous partnership with ICE's Papyrus ongoing since 2010 across both outbound and now also inbound for the content capture. So the automation story here is really about our journey in the handling of customer insurance claims. So what we found at some point was a need to transform and upgrade the way that we handled our customer claims processes. And a big program was put in motion, the NCS, or the New Customer System program, based off Guidewire in combination with ICE's Papyrus. And what it really gave us was, it gave us an ability to offer and implement improved automated flows for customer document and communication. And it gave us really the ability to automatically generate the documents for the claims handlers to really speed up the process and enable a digital customer communication, which has been very successful. However, we also found that we did have a challenge because we could see customers were picking up on this. They were starting to email us a lot more. They were emailing at convenience, so sitting at home, sitting at night. They didn't have to get on the phone. They could just get the things processed at any time. So we could see a growth in the volumes of emails coming in. And at that time, you could say it became more and more time consuming for us to handle these things. So the response here was to partner up with ICE's Papyrus around a capture implementation for Tryg, covering Denmark and Norway. And we've been going now for a little more than 1.5 years in close collaboration with ICE's Papyrus. As you can see here, we started early on, autumn of 21, proof of concept and testing. So trying it out, getting it tested, getting it installed. Finally, we come to spring of 22. 1 year ago, we had the first claims line of business, the first mailbox up and running. So we could see some of the early results. We could do some of the first adjustments, and of course adjustments were needed. So from there we have really focused on, as you can see here, rest of 22 and into 23, scaling adjustments, which I'll come back to. But we did a big effort in reconfiguring and preparing a better scalability in the solution. And that has really paid off now, we can see, because we are on a path to roll out to more than 20 what we call shared mailboxes, where the customers are loading in all their emails and documents, attachments, etc. And we've done 9 so far, so we've been speeding up quite a bit lately, and we're very happy with the development. But it has taken time. We're still underway, but we are on a very good track. So this is the story, and then how does it work? Well, essentially, I think we all understand basically the insurance process here. So whether it's a travel claim, travel insurance, or house insurance, or car insurance, there's a first notice of loss, the online claim registration, so you go and register your claim to start the process. Then there's a claim handling and communication process, where often it can be a back and forth between the claim handler and the customer, and making sure that there's a proper case management. And then, of course, an outcome. Typically, of course, payment to the customer or a rejection of the claim. So our focus here was really to speed up the customer claim journey within the claim handling and communication process. So what we do is our focus is on all of these shared inboxes per claim area that are really receiving all this communication, all these emails coming in from customers. So the first thing we do in the capture solution is that we have a mailbox scanning that really picks up on the mail and ingests them into the capture solution. So picks them up for processing. And then step 2 is the actual capture processing. So you could say this is where the magic takes place. So what it does is really it's scanning and reading and processing the emails, looking for keywords either from the subject line or from within the content or from in the attachments. And it sort of does a categorization and a classification of the emails and the information. So you can see from the left-hand side, if this was a case of a travel claim, so you had a wonderful time dancing last night, but you tripped over and you hit your head on the table at the wonderful auditorium we was in, and now you went to the hospital, now you need to raise a claim for this. This is the type of information we get in through this type of channel. So we need to look for, obviously, the claim ID, but other keywords are also in place. So we are up to 40 to 50 different keywords so far that we're really using in this whole algorithm. So based on this validation, the next step is taking up this email or these attachments and doing 2 things. Adding them to the claims case and archiving the documents within our documents archive and creating the proper links. So from that, we can really automate the whole handover into the claims case so the claims handler can move on. If it doesn't work, we still have manual handling for these type of emails that cannot be processed and read. So that's essentially the process for how it works. Quick look at the technical part. So it's a Papyrus capture. It runs on Windows. It integrates with our email solutions based on a MAPI integration. And then, as I said, behind we have the Guidewire claims system running on Linux, and we have our document archive running on IBM. So it's you could say this is a very simplified version of our architecture, but this is the technical setup for how it's running today. So the business outcome has been there. It's actually been there from day one. And this is an example from Tryg Norway. It's travel insurance claims cases. You're looking at a percentage distribution. And what we're looking for is the STP. So this is the straight through processing. This is the automation rate whereby we can go through the whole process in an automated fashion, get those things to the claims handler as fast as possible. So we've seen on average 70 to 80% straight through processing for this particular case over 9 months. And as you can see, it's not a straight line. It's not a straight journey. There are ups and downs, there are dips and learnings. As we grow the volume, we have different cases coming in. Maybe we have partners that send across information without the claim ID, or we cannot read the claim ID number. There's a variation of learnings for us to do. But overall, we've seen a pretty high automation rate across this area. We still have, as you can see in Invalid, we still have a range of emails and documents for manual handling. And our defects have been at a very fairly low level. So still some defects, but overall, I think we have a very stable solution now. And you could say, what is the target here? So obviously the target could be 100%, but we don't believe that that is ever going to be achieved. Personally, I would say up to 85 to 90% would be the target for us. But this is a 9-month trend. This is real data that you're looking at. So for this example, this is what it looks like. So, but we're happy, but we also want more, of course. This is the business outcome. Then a little bit about the journey and some of the challenges we had. This was, for us, a new implementation, new products. So obviously we had some learnings and some collaborations with ICES along the way. And without going into too much detail here, I just want to point out 3 of the key examples here. One was complex nested emails. So you probably know what I mean. So it's an email within an email, and within the email there's an attachment. So it becomes a little bit of a structured, complex, you could say, string of communication to handle. That's been a challenge for us, and we're working together with ICES Papyrus to solve that. We have a solution, we're still implementing it. So then we had emojis. That was sort of a learning early up that we needed a fix for the emojis. That was actually causing a problem in the beginning. And then I just want to mention these inline images. So customer sends in the picture. So you send in a picture of your forehead after it hit the table at last night's party, right? So you put that into the email, and we want Capture to read that and treat it as an attachment. And it couldn't do that in the beginning, but we fixed that. So these are examples of some of the technical learnings that you have to go through with this type of implementation. And then finally, what would be our key findings and learning from this whole journey so far? On the implementation side, I would say, if you are going into this, invest in a good design, in a good architecture up front. That's very important. You have to see this as an end-to-end implementation. It's not about a capture product in isolation. It's really about thinking end-to-end and making the process work, because it can really fail many places. So that's important. Scaling is very important. So be mindful of scaling. Be mindful why you're doing this. Be mindful to standardize and get the MVP out there so you get the benefits, and then you can go from there. So scaling has been a big point and a big contribution from ICES Papyrus in our journey here, and scaling is important for us. On the product, I can only say that we did see more than 70% STP out of from the get-go. So it works. It works, Capture. And on top, there are some benefits here. One is the GDPR shield, I call it. There is a risk with manual handling of documents and emails that something can go wrong. When you're automating like this, it actually gives you a GDPR shield. So it eliminates or reduces the risk of data breaches. And then on the skills and people side, upskilling internal resources, internal anchoring is incredibly important. And on the other hand, also, I would say that to have an open and transparent dialogue with ICES, to be good friends with your vendor is extremely important. Good relations with the people here, and I think we've achieved that at Tryg. So, where do we go from here? Well, first of all, we have to finish our 20-plus mailboxes, so we're still very much working on that. But we also want to improve further the automation, maybe get the STP percentage a little higher. And we are thinking beyond also. We can see that this could be an engine that could trigger other processes, maybe trigger something that could go outside of Tryg again, back to a third party. So those are the inspirations that we have. And we did see across a big insurance group like that, we see that there's a big volume of this type of communication going back and forth, not only with customers, but also between insurance companies. So we see this really as something that can become an enterprise capture solution that can automate these type of communication and data handling, document handling processes across the Tryg Group. So a lot of potential there and a good story so far. So thank you very much.